This is amazing. I never thought that I would ever hold such important pieces of metal. What the manufacturers have done is they've lacquered it with a type of varnish. It's a metal varnish, and that protects the metal. And you can see all the places where the lacquer is, it's sort of grey colour, and all the places where the lacquer is missing is a silver colour. The most important thing is to get this lacquer off and see what they look like when it's removed. Been in a similar situation to Helen, and my mother passed away, and there were some garden statues in her garden, and I've now got them in my garden, and it does remind me of my mother when I see those statues. I'm hoping that when Helen gets this into her garden, she's going to absolutely love it. So this is quite special to hold a platinum record that was owned by one of the members of Wings. I'm hoping I can make them beautiful again. And I think we're going to be pretty successful. When these came out, I was in my mid-teens, and I've seen all the big bands, The Who and Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones, but I never saw Paul McCartney and Wings. So I'm now going to have a go at engraving the 3 lines. And I've downloaded a 3 lines vector. It's like a drawing file, and that acts as a sort of instruction from the computer to the engraver, and it tells the engraver to engrave 3 lines onto this piece of silver, if I've got it right. That's all engraved now. I've just got to give this a polish, cut this shape out, and it'll be ready to go back on the trophy. It's just beautiful. It's someone has spent so much time and effort making this. This little teapot, for example, the spout actually tapers. It's got a little bulge at the bottom like a proper spout would have. So much thought's gone into making this. And that's
Brenton.
just the teapot.
Repair Shop, hugely popular show. And I just wonder, is that testament to the times that we live in?
I think so, absolutely. The making, do and mending is very important, and why buy a new one if you can fix the old one?
Yeah, and you're the silversmith and the photography expert. I mean, you've dealt with stuff made by Fabergé. How interesting is it to sort of deal with those kinds of items?
I've repaired a Fabergé box, not on the show, but at home. But it was nice to see that it wasn't perfect, and I could see flaws in it, and it made me feel good about my own work, because I can always see flaws in my own work.
Your specialist subject was Formula One, and you've actually taken your skills to a Formula One car.
But I've qualified as a silversmith. I found it very hard to make a living, so I started working on sports cars and historic Formula One cars, because bending a piece of metal is the same no matter what sort of metal it is. So I looked after the very first Williams that Ayrton Senna drove as a test, and I actually got to drive the car myself as well.
And did you notice the imperfections?
Only the driver.